I've been wanting to make this video for a while, but yeah, it took me a while to make this video, and I just wanted to make it raw and cut of every single thing that transpired working a door-to-door job. So, I was thinking, like, when I got hired, okay, I'm not really being told every single thing about this job yet. I'm in for a surprise. Lord behold, it was a door to door sales job. And the first few days were fine. Like the first few days, I was literally there for about 2 hours. I was in the office for 2 hours. Didn't do the door to door knocking yet. And then I was sent home. I was told to complete my online training. And it was just going over things regarding a phone company. I'd rather not say what that phone company is, but it's well known. And I was going over the cable and the internet services in the training, as well as harassment training. I was going over that. And then my first official day on the field happened. And I was out there with a coworker. Let's call him Frank. Frank and we went to, I believe it was Hayward, the first place we went to. And we were knocking on the doors, going door to door. I was taking a lot of notes, as I did every single day, trying to get that pitch down, trying to perform for the customer as far as presentations go. And Frank, I know he was just like playing around most of the time, but he expected me to have everything down by my second day. Those first few days, I never witnessed a sale actually happen. And we were just knocking on those doors. We were expected to knock anywhere from 60 doors to 80 doors a day. Mind you, my memory's not that great. And I was just trying to really just see how he was pitching to them before I did my pitch. And there were times when he'd talk on the phone with his friend and put me on video chat and just be like, yeah, this guy sucks. This guy sucks at this job. It's his second day. He sucks. And his friend was like, oh, you could let me join this job, or just some stuff they were saying. So there was that. Then I was with this guy for probably about 3, maybe 4 days before getting transferred to another supervisor. And same thing happened. No sales were seen. And except for this guy, he was a lot nicer. Let's just call him Cedric. Just call him Cedric. Anyway, Cedric, he was a lot nicer than the first guy. And well, we were going door to door still, and people just weren't willing to sign up for our services. Then I was given a third supervisor who actually ended up leaving before I did. His name, I'll just call him, I'll call him Nicholas. Nicholas, he was a lot nicer. He was really trying to help me with my pitch. And he was nice like the previous guy I mentioned. Nicer than the first guy. He was helping me with my pitch, and he was just really trying to help me to get that sale. But I still didn't witness any sales when he was doing the pitch. Nor did I make any sales myself. But he was like, you know what, I think you're ready to go on your own. So I actually went on my own for the next few days. And I did my pitch to 80 doors a day. Still did not get any sales. So then they told me, okay, you're going to have to be retrained. So I went out with the guy who gave me the job, and that was when I witnessed my first sale and made my first sale myself. And it was a great experience. The customers were nice, and they were really excited about getting the new services. Mind you, I'm still new to the job, and I didn't know too much about staying in touch with the customer, just checking in and stuff. And I was thinking that he was going to do that. But I later found out a couple weeks later, about 4 weeks later, that those customers, well, at least one of them, did not stick with the service. And the other one, the really big order, it was about 7 pieces that we split. I did not get paid the 30% of the sale that I saw with him because I don't know, they just didn't pay me for it. But that was another thing. Aside from my coworkers, some of them just talking about my looks, being really rude and unprofessional, there was the pay. And there was no base salary except for the initial training pay. And that was below minimum wage. Minimum wage in Emeryville is $19.90 per hour. And what I got was $18 per hour for just 2 hours. And then that was the only training pay I got. Even though I was still training when I was going out door to door, I didn't get paid for that. So my first paycheck came in, and it was for only $200. Even though I was working at that job every single day. And in the state of California, working every single day is considered above full-time, overtime and full-time. But I did not receive that pay. Still, I wanted to get really good at the job because I saw there was a lot of people that were saying, yeah, I'm making good money on this. You know, this is a good job. They show up for work a lot earlier than me, and they said they got promoted rather quickly. There was a guy that was 2 tiers higher than me, and he had been hired just 1 month prior. So I stuck with the job for a little while. My second check was just a little bit bigger. It was $400. And after that, I decided to just start taking a few days off. First, I requested 1 day off per week. Then I requested another day off in the week. And I started to get a little more consistent. I memorized my pitch. We did a lot of practice before we went out to talk to the customers. And, well, I just tried my best. And there were a lot of people that were rooting for me, and there were a lot of people that thought, you know, you're never going to succeed at this. Of course, the people that were rooting for me, that were encouraging me, cheering me on, were the ones that I usually talk to at work. So my checks dwindled down to about $100 a week. And then it dwindled down to nothing at all. The little money that I was given was just enough for me to transport to and from work and to buy lunch. And usually to buy lunch, I would have to walk to the Trader Joe's that was nearby. And it took me probably about 12 minutes to walk there, about 3-4 minutes to shop, and then 12 minutes to walk back to the office. And I'm really hungry because I usually skip breakfast to get to this job. I have to catch a few buses to get to the job, about 2 or 3 buses a day. And that's just to get to the job. And yeah, I was just doing that. And I bring the food back, put it in the microwave, and by the time the food's done, I have to quickly eat it because some of my coworkers are like, you better not eat in my car. You cannot eat in my car. And yeah, they had to carpool us to the places where we'd walk door to door. And because they weren't getting paid very much to do so, they had the worst attitudes about it, by majority of them that I rode with. And of course, upper management wanted to make it seem like it was my problem they were having this attitude. When they just had this attitude with most people, you know, they just weren't very happy with the job they had. One of them was telling me that he literally was selling Obama phones before he decided to take on this role. So, yeah. And when he was rude, I probably should have told him, you know, you could go back to selling those Obama phones. I really don't care. Don't call me the N-word. Yeah, so, there was that, you know, it was quite a wild ride, but I'm really happy with the decision of walking away from this job. And I'm going to get more into the nitty-gritty of things, but this is just an introduction video, just to go over the real details when it comes to those commission-only or door-to-door sales jobs that are being pushed out there. You know, it usually comes with the fact that it's a high turnover. A lot of people just got out of high school and they don't know how to act because it's probably their first job. And then there's also the fact that a lot of people just aren't getting paid minimum wage or livable wage. So they're just not going to come in with the best attitude. And that was my experience. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. All right. Peace.